Most people were prepared for childhood, some were prepared for school, almost nobody was prepared for this version of adulthood, the version we were shown looked different. Work hard, stay disciplined, be responsible, build a stable life, not perfect. Just stable. It looked possible somewhere along the way. That promise shifted, not suddenly, gradually, so gradually that millions walked into adulthood before realizing the ground had changed. Now, many people are doing everything they were told would work and still feel stuck, not collapsing, not advancing, just maintaining. Paycheck arrives, bills, take most of it. Repeat. This creates a quiet, psychological weight, because effort used to create distance. You could see progress today. Progress often feels microscopic, almost invisible. You tell yourself you are building a future, but the future never quite arrives. That is where the anxiety begins. No one warns you about the moment. Expectations stop matching reality when that gap appears. The brain looks for someone to blame. Usually you. Maybe I chose wrong. Maybe I started late. Maybe everyone else knows something I do not. But step back, look wider. When millions of responsible, capable people feel the same pressure, it is rarely personal failure, it is environmental change. Adulthood once meant gaining independence. Now it often feels like managing constant exposure to risk. Housing shifts, job markets shift, entire industries shift. Security feels temporary. Even long-term plans can feel fragile, so people adapt. They become more cautious, more calculated, less impulsive. Not because they lack courage, because mistakes feel more expensive. Now there is another part. Few people talk about decision fatigue when the future feels predictable. Decisions feel lighter when everything feels uncertain. Every choice starts to feel permanent. Where you live, what career you choose, when you spend, when you save, even small mistakes feel like they echo. The brain was never designed for endless low grade uncertainty, so it scans for danger constantly. This is why so many adults feel tired in a way sleep does. Not fix it is not just physical, it is mental load, running background calculations all day. Will this be enough? Am I safe? Am I behind? What if something goes wrong? Here is the unsettling part. You can do everything right and still feel unstable. Previous generations feared sudden failure. This generation often fears slow stagnation, running hard, gaining little ground. But remember, every major shift creates a generation that feels unprepared, not because they are weak, because the map they were given no longer matches. The terrain maps are drawn from the past. You are living in the present. Confusion is not a flaw, it is a signal. The real danger is mislabeling adaptation as failure. Once a person believes they are failing, they shrink. They hesitate, they stop aiming, when in reality, they may be adjusting to a harder environment. Awareness changes this. When you see the landscape clearly, you stop asking, what is wrong with me? You start asking, what skills does this era reward? That question creates movement. Adulthood today is less about reaching a finish line and more about staying flexible while moving forward. Rigidity breaks people, flexibility protects them. This does not mean lower your standards. It means upgrade your resilience. Resilience is no longer optional, it is infrastructure. Another realization arrives later than most expect. Security is not something you arrive at once, it is something you maintain continuously. That sounds intimidating, but it carries an advantage. Humans adapt. Once you stop expecting the old version of stability, you begin building a stronger kind, one based less on predictability, more on capability. Your ability to learn, adjust, recover, reposition. These traits compound quietly over time. The people who develop them stop feeling fragile, even in uncertain environments. There is something powerful about seeing reality clearly. Clarity removes unnecessary self-doubt. You stop comparing your progress to outdated timelines. You stop measuring your life against conditions that no longer exist. You stop assuming you are late when the schedule itself has changed. So if adulthood feels heavier than expected, it does not mean you are doing it wrong. It may mean you are awake during a transition, and people who grow inside transitions develop unusual strength. They become harder to shake, harder to discourage, harder to stop. No, you were not perfectly prepared for this version of adulthood. Almost nobody was, but preparation is not what determines who moves forward. Adaptation does. Once you understand that the pressure stops looking like proof you are failing and starts looking like evidence, you are expanding. The path may not match what you imagined. That does not mean you are lost. It may mean you are learning terrain. Most people still do not understand, and the people who understand the terrain rarely stay stuck.
shitbird! I'm gonna have fun.